Hi, and welcome. I'm Brad Moser, the Secondary Technology Integration Specialist, and this is the iPad student orientation for the Belton Middle School and Freshman Center. And if you're watching this should be prior to receiving your iPad device. Let's get started. You know, we used to be here, and classrooms look like this. Lots of rows, students in desks, individual desks separated from other students, maybe a few computers in the back of the room that were desktop and stationary. Well, now we're here. Students have portable devices. Students are working more collaboratively, engaging in 21st century teaching and learning. And where to next? At Belton, we're continually learning and growing and striving to improve, and we expect our students to do the same. And we're excited to take part and provide devices that help meet the needs for today and hopefully for the future. Our mission is to graduate college and career-ready students through engagement and personalized, relevant learning experiences. We want to make learning authentic. And so to do that, a one-to-one learning environment, one-to-one meaning one device for every student, provides our students with the most personalized and powerful and relevant learning experiences possible. And that's why we've decided to go with a one-to-one environment. So your student will receive an iPad 2, 16 gigabytes of hard drive. It will be housed in an OtterBox case. This OtterBox case provides the protection needed to help maintain wear and tear on the devices as they're taken home and put into bags and brought back to school and used daily. The OtterBox should be on the iPad at all times and should never be removed from the device. Students will also have a power cord issued to them, and we'll talk about that. There are fees and insurance that go with this in case of accidents. Regular pay students, you can see the fee for the entire year is just $40. Reduced pay, $30, and free and reduced lunch would be $20. If an iPad is broken, and we understand that this might happen, and with our experience over the past couple of years having these devices in student hands, accidents do happen, and we are striving to help students understand the responsible use of these and have a little skin in the game. This year, the broken deductible will be on an escalating scale per incident. And so unlike last year, the first incident, if there's a damage to the device, will be a deductible of $10. So you'll pay your user fee, and then if there's an accident, something happens, you broke the screen, the first incident will be a deductible of $10, $20 for the second incident, and $50 for a third or more. Hopefully we don't see any of those. If a device is stolen, the fee is $100, and then finally, if the device is lost, it is $444, which would be the cost of the device in the OtterBox. Going back to the stolen, if it's stolen, it needs to be reported to us immediately with a police report, and then that fee of $100 would be assessed. All the students are expected to have the iPad and the OtterBox, which will come together and we'll assign that. 7th grade students and new students will be issued a charger. Returning students, 8th grade and 9th grade students, are responsible for keeping their chargers that we issued to them last year throughout the summer. And so we also will have chargers available at a cost of $10 per charger. Students will not receive the front cover as we had to hand it out last year. We believe that it's sort of extra liability, caused a lot of problems. We had a lot of fees issued because of broken cover, and we realize and want to make sure that we're making good decisions for our students and for the program. And so if you would like to have your student use that cover, they can purchase one at a fee of $20. But we feel like the program can continue forward without that cover and without having that liability on students. As for iPad care, we want to handle these with care, of course. They are expensive devices. They have a glass screen. And so we never remove the iPad out of the OtterBox at any time, even to clean it. You can clean the outside of the OtterBox with a Clorox wipe. That works really well. Just make sure to quickly dry it afterwards. Never immerse it or submerge it. Immerse it in water at any point. If there's any technical problems with the iPad, it should be taken to the library for reporting, and then we can have our technicians run maintenance on it. As far as general use, it's a learning tool. The iPads are coming in and helping for research, and we're investigating textbook replacements with them. And so it's a learning tool, not a gaming tool. We'll talk about how the iPad is in a supervised mode rather than just an open environment. As far as passwords go, we need to keep them safe and confidential. Students should be able to share those with parents. Parents probably should know your students' passwords, but they should not be shared between students. We encourage the passcodes to be set on the iPads. In case another student comes across it and picks it up, the passcode should be set to keep that iPad locked down. Students are not to install, or parents are not to install any software, illegal music, or movies on the iPads. No photos or videos should be taken of students or of work at school unless permission has been given by the teacher or an administrator. Inappropriate use of the camera will result in disciplinary action. Devices may be checked periodically by administrators or teachers, so you need to be aware and just be using the devices appropriately. On the iPads, we at Technology, we have a profile that is set that manages those iPads. The iPads are able to connect to the internet while at school, and that will happen automatically. And that profile helps to manage that. And so removal of the profile will result in disciplinary action. So students are to make sure to keep the management profiles intact and not sort of hack the iPads. Since they're in supervised mode, we can maintain them and wipe them and re-image them if there's technical problems or bugs. So one thing to note on that is it's important that all the files, images, and any work that a student's doing, their notes that they're taking on the device, should be taken and saved in the cloud. When we talk about the cloud, basically what that means is it's saving a file not on the device itself, but up on a network, so that student can access that note from any device that's connected to that same network or that same cloud. And so we use Google Drive as the main means for students to save their work in the cloud. And it's important for students to get in that habit. And in case a device breaks or it needs to be re-imaged, none of their work is lost if they save it in the cloud. So use Google Drive for that. As far as home use goes, I'm going to show you how to connect and find the Wi-Fi connection on the iPad for home, so you can connect your iPad when you're at home to your internet. Should be used under adult supervision. Be aware of where you store these. Don't just throw it in the backpack or put it on the bed and got brothers or sisters around. Don't just leave it out so they can handle it. So you need to be aware there. Also, temperature. If you leave it in the car, it's really hot or really cold, the devices won't work as well. So it's important to watch the temperature and where you're putting those devices, storing those devices. If a device is lost or stolen, report that immediately. It's important. If it's broken, visit the library media specialist and we can put in a report. And then finally, please charge the devices overnight and come to school with a fully charged device. It's probably not a bad habit to have that charger with you as well in case you're totally working hard and devices run out. Students have student email. We have a student school email. They can access that by going to mail.bsdpirates.org, and then their username is their first name, period, last name, at bsdpirates.org. This is a Google email account that we facilitate for them, and they should have their password. If they need help setting that password up or resetting that password, they can see their computer teachers or the library and media specialists, and we can help get that password reset for them. As far as grades go, students also can access their grades regularly. We encourage this. Go on the iPad, open up a Safari, the internet browser. They go to beltonschools.org and click on the student portal link. Parent portal is also associated there. They can go to the same link, just click parent portal, sign in, and check out your grades and see your progress in school. So use that option. Now we're going to talk about setting the Wi-Fi and the passcode lock on your iPad at home. The first thing you're going to do is turn on the iPad, click the top lock button or the home button on the front at the bottom. Then choose the Settings app. Click on the Wi-Fi on the top left. You can see which Wi-Fi you're connected to. When you're at home, select the network for your home network and then enter the username and or password. Then choose the Join button. I'm not going to enter it right now, but you would hit the Join button and then it would connect. You can also set the passcode lock for the iPad to lock the screen when you're not using it. To do this, select the Settings app, choose Passcode Lock, and then click Turn Passcode On. Select a passcode, a 4-digit passcode that's difficult, and one that you will remember. Re-enter it. Passcode is set on. You can then require the timing of the passcode to be immediately or after a certain amount of time. Once you've done this, you can now view the passcode by locking the screen, clicking the top button, turning it on, sliding to unlock, and then entering the passcode. If you enter the wrong passcode, after too many attempts, the iPad will lock for a certain amount of time. So try to remember it. Option. There are quite a few apps that are available on the iPad. In fact, we're right around 56 different apps. The apps are have been chosen because they are able to use in many classrooms and maybe not just one app. We strive to find apps that are useful for taking notes and creating presentations and writing papers, the normal tasks that you might do for your classroom. And so I want to highlight a few of those. Paperport Notes is a great app for doing handwriting, typing notes, inserting pictures, being able to annotate on pictures. You can also annotate on PDF documents, Word documents you can put into this app, and you can draw right on that document. Evernote is a great note to organize some notes. It saves to the cloud using their Evernote account, so they can create folders, notebooks, and then inside the notebooks you can have a notebook maybe for each class, and then inside your notebook you can have different notes that go into that class, maybe one for each unit or each topic of study. It's a type in or your text or notes. You can add pictures into that as well, and then it syncs up to the Evernote cloud, which is excellent. Google Drive is the cloud storage. It is basically an online folder, and then students can access that folder from any internet-connected device. And so they should upload their pictures or upload videos or projects or presentations that they're working on from these other apps into Google Drive to save them forever. 3 other apps, WPS Office and Quick Office, are very similar apps. These are going to be very powerful for typing papers and including images inside those papers and making a document that is very comparable to typing on like a Word doc on a computer. This is how students can do this on their iPad. In addition, you can also create and edit PowerPoint presentations by inserting images and shapes to make that presentation really look more professional. The last app I highlight is called Edgy Creations. Edgy Creations is like a whiteboard canvas app. You can handwrite, insert images, and then hit the record button, narrate, and annotate and animate on that app. So very powerful creation app where students can express and show and demonstrate their learning to their teacher, to their peers, and demonstrate their proficiency in standards. And so you will see some of the teachers using some of these 6 apps throughout the semester, as well as the other many apps that are on the device. There are currently no game apps on the device. Sorry, I know you were hoping for Minecraft or something like that. While those are very fun and entertaining, we've chosen to stick with the academia purposes of the iPad. I appreciate you listening to this tutorial, and we are excited for this next year. With these devices, it opens up the possibility to be able to create many things from here. And what will you create next? What's going to be the next thing that you create and that you're a part of driving the learning forward here at Belton School? So thanks for watching, and good luck this next school year in your learning endeavors.